Have you ever walked into a room and felt like no one noticed, and then someone else walks in, doesn't say a word, but the entire room shifts, not because of beauty, not because of money, but because of something deeper, a grounded presence that says, I know who I am, and I don't need your permission to exist. And maybe you've wondered, why don't I feel that way when I enter the room? The truth is, we've all been there. You speak up, and someone cuts you off. You offer a thought, and it's brushed aside. You share your truth, and it gets turned into a joke. And it hurts. Not because you want attention, but because being seen, truly seen, is human. Here's the part no one tells you. People don't treat you how you deserve to be treated. They treat you how you allow them to. Let that sink in. You teach the world how to treat you. With every boundary you set. With every time you silence your truth. With every moment you shrink just to make others comfortable. And no, it's not your fault. Most of us were taught to be nice, to be good, to be liked. But very few of us were ever taught how to be whole, how to own our space without apology, how to speak without shrinking, how to be present fully boldly without asking for permission first. The Roman philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Your power isn't in change in how people see you. It's in how you see yourself and how you choose to show up because of it." So let me ask you, what would shift in your posture, in your voice, in your energy, if you stopped waiting for the world to recognize your worth and started walking like someone who already knew it? Because presence isn't about being louder. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being liked. Presence is about being undeniable. So the next time you enter a room, will you bring your wounds and wait for approval, or will you bring your wholeness and let the room rise to meet you? Stay with me, because in the next part, we're going to explore exactly how to build that kind of presence, even if you've spent your whole life feeling invisible. Disrespect rarely starts with cruelty. It starts with something quieter, something softer, something we often ignore. Silence. Not theirs, yours. Not because you're weak, but because somewhere along the way, you were taught that staying quiet was safer than standing up. Let's be honest. Most people don't wake up thinking, today I'm going to break someone's dignity. No. Disrespect isn't always loud. It doesn't always yell. It sneaks in, subtle, gradual, almost invisible, and most dangerously, it's often allowed by us without even realizing it. So, why does it happen? Let's break it down. 1. People use your silence as permission. When someone talks over you, dismisses your words, or turns you into the punchline, they're not always being careless. They're watching how you respond, and if you don't, they assume it's okay. They start using your quiet like a staircase to climb higher while stepping over you. The truth. Some people only feel tall when they're making someone else feel small. And here's the twist. It's not always personal. Sometimes it's just habit. People push just to see where you'll stop them. 2. Patterns form in groups. It starts with one person, then another. Then suddenly you're the easy one. The one who stays silent. The one who won't challenge the group. You're not invisible. You've just been cast into a silent role you never asked to play. But just because you didn't choose the role doesn't mean you have to keep performing it. 3. Your body speaks when your voice doesn't. Maybe you don't notice it, but the way you enter a room matters. The way you lower your gaze, the way your shoulders fold, the way your voice hesitates at the edge of your truth. That's all communication. And even if your words say, "I have something to offer," your body might be whispering, "I'm not sure I belong here." And people pick up on that. Not because they're cruel, but because humans are wired to follow certainty and overlook hesitation. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Treat a man as he is, and he will remain as he is." And that's what happens when you allow people to see you small. They treat you that way again and again until you start to believe it too. So let me ask you this. Are you teaching people to respect you or to ignore you? Because every time you stay quiet, every time you laugh off the hurt, you're silently saying, "This is okay." But it's not. And it never was. In the next part, we'll start breaking that pattern, and I'll show you how to begin reclaiming your voice, one boundary at a time. Stay with me. Your power isn't gone. It's just been waiting for you to say enough. People decide who you are in just 7 seconds. Not after they hear your story, not after you explain your truth, not even after you say your name. 7 seconds. And they've already answered, "Is this someone I'll respect or overlook?" Sounds unfair, right? But it's human. Our brains are built for speed, to scan, to sort, to protect. We've been trained from childhood, from culture, from survival to read energy, long before we process words. So let me ask you this. What do people feel when you walk into a room? Do they sense confidence, or uncertainty, groundedness, or hesitation? Because whether you realize it or not, you're always speaking even in silence. There are 3 tools that communicate who you are before you ever open your mouth. Let's break them down. 1. Posture. Stand like you're carrying something sacred, because you are. Your voice, your history, your presence, it matters. Walk slowly, breathe deeply, move like you're already enough, because you are. Let your body say what your words haven't said, yet I belong here. 2. Eye contact, not forced, not aggressive, just present. Look at people like you see them, and you're not afraid to be seen back. That gaze. It speaks volumes. It says, "I'm here. I'm awake. I'm not hiding." And people respect what doesn't shrink. 3. Your voice. Slow doesn't mean weak. Quiet doesn't mean unsure. Speak with clarity. Let your voice breathe. Let silence work for you, not against you. Your voice is your anchor. Let it hold the room, not chase it. When you speak with presence, people don't just hear your words. They feel the energy behind them. There's a reason they say respect begins before a word is spoken. It begins with how you carry yourself, with the way you sit in your body, with how you walk into a space without asking for permission to be there. So next time you enter a room, don't ask the world if you matter. Show it, because your energy arrives before your voice ever does. And when you carry yourself like someone who already belongs, the world listens before you speak. In the next part, we'll dive into how to rebuild your self-image from the inside out, so you no longer perform for respect. You embody it. Stay with me. You're not just reclaiming presence, you're rewriting your power. Being interrupted doesn't just cut off your words, it chips away at your dignity, bit by bit, moment by moment. And the worst part, most people don't even realize it's happening until silence becomes your habit and invisibility becomes your default. Let's be clear. Being cut off isn't just about conversation. It's about presence. It's about respect. It's about whether people believe your voice is worth the space it takes up. And every time someone interrupts you, whether in a team meeting, at a family dinner, or over coffee with a friend, they're sending a silent message. What I have to say matters more than your existence in this moment. Now sure, sometimes it's unconscious. People talk fast. They're emotional. They don't mean harm. But sometimes it's a test. They're watching, measuring. Will you let it slide? Will you shrink? Smile politely. Let your thought die quietly. Or will you do something different? Because here's the truth. No one taught us. Growing up, interruptions are invitations to either disappear or to reclaim space. And the most powerful responses, they're not loud. They're not emotional. They're silent, still, grounded. So next time it happens, pause. Hold your gaze. Don't flinch. Don't fold. Let the room feel your stillness. Because stillness speaks louder than defensiveness. And when you're ready, not rushed, not shaken, you say it. Clear, calm, certain. Excuse me. I wasn't finished yet. Let me complete my point. No apology, no explanation, just presence. Because every time you stay silent, you teach them without meaning to that your voice doesn't matter, that you don't matter. And that's not the lesson you want the world to learn. This isn't about ego. It's about boundaries. It's about rewriting the silent contracts we sign when we choose to stay small so others can stay comfortable. But your comfort matters too. Your voice deserves air. Your truth deserves space. And more than anything, you deserve to finish your sentence. So next time someone cuts you off, don't disappear. Don't dim. Stay. Look up. Breathe. Hold your ground like it already belongs to you, because it does. You don't have to fight to be heard, but you do have to show the world you're not going anywhere. And if you don't protect your voice, who will? In the next part, we'll go deeper into setting unshakable boundaries, the kind that don't just protect your time, they protect your soul. Because you're not too much. You were just never meant to stay small. Have you ever been in a room where someone made a joke and everyone laughed except you? A joke that wasn't clever, just sharp enough to sting, just public enough to humiliate. And suddenly, the spotlight isn't on your voice but your silence. Let's be honest, some people don't mock you because they hate you. They do it to rise above you. They make you the punchline so they can become the center of the room. It's not always malice. Sometimes it's strategy, a loud attempt to feel important. And the real test isn't the joke. It's your response. Because here's the truth. When you react emotionally with anger, with hurt, with defense, you give them what they wanted. Control. But when you respond with presence, with stillness, with clarity, you shift the power back. Here are 3 quiet strategies to take the room back without ever raising your voice. 1. Disrupt the rhythm. Say calmly, "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat it?" It sounds simple, but it works, because humor needs rhythm. And when you interrupt it, you make the joker repeat themselves. This time, under full light, with everyone watching, and no one laughing. 2. Stay silent. No smile, no reaction. Then, change the subject. This isn't passive, it's powerful, because you don't feed the moment. You starve it. You let their joke collapse in its own awkwardness while you move the room forward. 3. Ask the question they fear: "I didn't get it." Can you explain why that was funny? Most won't know what to say, because the joke was never smart. It was just mean. And now, the energy has turned. The power has shifted. Without yelling, without revenge, just clarity. This isn't about being right. It's about being rooted. It's about protecting your dignity without betraying your calm. Because when you make peace with who you are, you stop handing your power to those who never earned it. So the next time someone tries to turn you into a joke, don't flinch. Don't fade. Don't apologize. Hold your ground like it was always yours. Because you don't need to fight for respect. You just need to stop handing it away. In the next part, we'll explore how to rebuild the inner strength to walk into any room and let your presence do the talking. Because silence, when chosen with power, can shake the room louder than words ever could. Some people don't want connection. They want control. And the fastest way to get it, push your buttons, then sit back and watch you unravel. But what if you didn't? What if instead of reacting, you rose so high their chaos couldn't reach you? Let's be honest. Some people feel threatened by peace they don't have. So they test yours. They poke. They prod. They say things just sharp enough to sting, but vague enough to deny. Then when you finally react, they smirk and say, "See, I told you she's dramatic." That's the game. And the only way to win is not to play. But don't shrink. Don't retreat. Don't hand over your energy in silence. Instead, learn the art of emotional stillness. A calm that doesn't collapse. A stillness that doesn't shrink. A kind of peace that isn't passive, but powerful. Here are 3 ways to break the cycle and stay in command of your energy. 1. Break their rhythm. The next time someone corners you with jabs, don't meet them with fire. Meet them with something unexpected. Say, I was just thinking about dinner. Sounds odd, but it works because it snaps the spell. It throws off their script. Suddenly, they don't know what to do with you. Now you are leading the moment, not them. 2. Say nothing. Observe. Then walk away. Silence is not weakness. It's awareness. When someone tries to drag you into their storm and you simply don't go, that's devastating for them. They built drama for 2 and you left them standing in it, alone. 3. Ask for clarity. Bring logic into chaos. Look them in the eye and say, "Can you explain what you meant by that?" It's subtle, but it cuts deep. Because now they have to justify what was never meant to be justified. They fumble, they backpedal, and the spotlight turns. You didn't raise your voice, you just raised the standard. There's a reason we say emotional composure is not weakness, it's a weapon. You don't win by being louder. You win by being unshakable. Your calm isn't passive. It's strategy. It's strength. It's grace under fire. So the next time someone tries to bait you, pause. Don't flinch. Don't explain. Don't descend into their storm. Rise. And let your stillness speak volumes. In the next part, we'll explore how to rewire your nervous system so peace becomes not just a choice, but your natural default. Because the strongest presence in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one that refuses to be pulled out of alignment. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you'll ever say is nothing at all. No dramatic goodbye, no long explanation. Just silence and the sound of your footsteps, walking away. Because walking away isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's self-respect in motion. Let's talk about a moment most people fear. The moment you finally realize this space is no longer safe for me. Maybe it's your job, the one that used to light you up. but now leaves you invisible in every meeting. Maybe it's your relationship, the one where your needs keep shrinking so someone else can stay comfortable. Maybe it's a friendship, where you only exist when they need something. And maybe you've tried everything. You spoke up, you set boundaries, you gave second chances, and then a third, and then a fourth. But nothing changed. And deep down, you know, you're not being heard, not being valued, not being seen. Your presence doesn't feel like presence anymore. It feels like weight, like burden, like background noise. So what do you do when being somewhere starts costing you pieces of yourself? You leave, not out of spite, not out of rage, but out of reverence for your wholeness. Because staying in a place that quietly erases you is a slow, aching kind of self-abandonment. And you were never meant to disappear politely in rooms that only tolerate you when you're silent. So how do you know it's time to go? When your boundaries aren't just ignored, they're mocked. When you silence your truth to avoid conflict. When you have to shrink to keep the peace. When you leave feeling smaller than when you arrived. These aren't signs of failure. They're signs of awakening. Yes, walking away is scary. You'll doubt yourself. You'll hear the whispers. What if I'm wrong? What if I'm just too sensitive? What if no one else understands? But here's what no one tells you. You don't owe your peace to places that keep stealing it. You don't owe loyalty to systems that only value your silence. And you definitely don't owe your presence to people who never made space for it. They say, walking away isn't weakness. It's self-respect in motion. And they're right. It's not an exit. It's an arrival. A return to the version of you who stopped settling for crumbs in rooms that promised a feast. So if today you're standing at the edge, wondering if it's okay to go, this is your permission. Yes, it is. You're not abandoning them. You're returning to yourself. In the next part, we'll talk about what comes after walking away, how to rebuild, restore, and rise again. Not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to be. Because walking away isn't the end. It's the beginning of everything real. There's a kind of person who doesn't have to raise their voice, who doesn't need a title, who doesn't beg for space. And yet the moment they walk into the room, the energy shifts. People notice. People listen. Not because they're trying to impress, but because they've become someone who doesn't need to. They carry something rare, something sacred, self-respect, not the loud kind that demands attention, but the quiet kind that doesn't flinch, doesn't chase, and never asks for permission. Let me say this clearly. You don't have to perform to earn respect. You just have to become someone who lives it. And the ones who do, they move with 3 powerful traits. Let's break them down. 1, they honor their no, not with anger, not with guilt, but with clarity. They say no to what drains them, to what disrespects them, to what doesn't align. No apology, no over-explaining, just a boundary wrapped in grace. And the world listens because boundaries speak volumes. 2, they listen, but never disappear. They don't interrupt, they don't dominate, but they also don't dissolve. They hold space for others without losing their own shape. They know how to be present without becoming invisible. Their energy whispers, I see you, but I don't need to disappear to do it. 3, they speak only when it matters, and when they do, people lean in, because their silence isn't fear, it's depth. It's strength. It's that still presence that makes the room feel calm and grounded. When they speak, it's never noise. It's a message, and it lands because it comes from alignment. People like this don't demand respect. They become the standard for it. Their choices are quiet, but their presence is unforgettable. And if you've ever felt like no one sees you, like you have to shout just to matter, I want you to hear this. You don't need to convince anyone. You just need to become the person you yourself would respect. Start with your boundaries. Own your truth. And walk into the room like someone who doesn't just deserve space, but creates it. Because often, the most powerful person in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one who doesn't need to speak to be felt. Stay with me. In the next part, we'll talk about how to build this energy from the inside out so it becomes who you are, not just something you do, because real respect, it doesn't begin with others. It begins with you. You don't need a mountaintop, or a robe, or ancient scrolls in Latin. You just need a moment, one breath, one pause, one quiet choice made in the middle of real life. Because real wisdom isn't meant to stay in books. It's meant to live in you. You've probably heard of the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. But this isn't about being a philosopher. It's about being fully awake. Because Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering response. It's not about being cold. It's about being clear with yourself and the world. So how do we live it? Here, now, in the noise. Let's begin with just 3 simple moments each day. 1. Morning. Set the tone. Before you touch your phone, before the world grabs at you, pause. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? Not what you want to achieve, not how much you'll get done, but who you'll be. Will you lead with patience? Will you protect your peace? Will you walk like someone who knows who they are? Choose your quality. Let it be your anchor. Let it shape your energy before the world shapes you. 2. Midday. Watch your reactions. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A coworker snaps. A loved one misunderstands you. And your chest tightens. Your jaw clenches. You want to react. Pause. Ask yourself, is this my truth or just my ego flinching? This moment isn't here to shame you. It's here to remind you. You don't have to chase calm. You just have to choose again. 3. Evening. Return to yourself. Before the day ends, ask, did I live in alignment today? Not perfectly, just honestly. Did I show up with presence? Did I forget myself in the rush? Did I honor the values I say I live by? You don't need paragraphs. Just one line. One sentence of truth. That's how we remember who we are. Because like the Stoics said, discipline is remembering what you want. And in a world that constantly pulls you in 10 directions, remembering is a radical act of self-respect. So no, you don't need to change your life overnight. You just need 3 small moments. A morning intention, a midday pause, and an evening truth. Do that not once, but again and again, and one day, you'll look in the mirror and see someone unshakable. Because wisdom isn't what you know, it's how you live when no one's watching. In the next part, we'll talk about emotional boundaries, how to stay open and still feel safe. Because wholeness is not about shutting down. It's about finally coming home to yourself. Have you noticed? The moment you stop chasing respect is the moment others start offering it. Not because you demanded it, but because something in you shifted, and suddenly you no longer needed permission to take up space. Let's pause here. What if the energy you bring into a room spoke louder than any words ever could? What if the way you sit, the way you breathe, the way you carry your silence was already teaching the world how to treat you? Respect isn't something you earn through approval. It's something you radiate through presence. And it begins here, not tomorrow, not when you're ready, but now. So breathe in and say this with me. I do not seek respect. I carry it. Feel that. Let it settle in your spine. Let it soften your shoulders. Let it steady your voice. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to shrink, perform, or apologize. Your worth is not up for debate. And your presence is not a question mark. It's a statement. Here's what carrying respect looks like without saying a word. You stand like someone who's no longer ashamed of their story. No more slouching to fit into places too small for your spirit. You walk like someone who has forgiven themselves. Not rushing, not hiding, but arriving fully, completely. You speak not to earn your place, but because you already know your voice deserves to exist. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment. You are not better than anyone, but you are done pretending you're less than them. And that shift? It's quiet, but undeniable. People feel it in the air before you speak. They lean in without knowing why. Because you've become the kind of presence that doesn't ask for respect. It becomes the standard for it. So take the pen, or just whisper it out loud. I do not seek respect. I carry it. Let that truth shape the way you rise, the way you sit at tables, the way you walk through silence like it's yours. Because it is. And in the next part, we'll explore something deeper, how to lead others not through pressure, but through the quiet power of presence. Because true leadership doesn't shout. It simply stands and invites the world to rise with it. What if the most powerful shift in your life isn't about changing others, but returning to yourself, not fixing, not performing, not begging to be seen, just choosing every single day to be who you are, fully, even if the world never claps? Let's be honest. Life doesn't always play fair. People interrupt, they mock, they test, they push, they forget your worth, or never saw it to begin with. And if you're not careful, you'll spend your whole life reacting to their noise instead of building your own clarity. But Marcus Aurelius said it best. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You can't control the chaos. You can't control their choices, but you always get to choose your response. And that is where your power lives. Not in forcing the world to change, but in becoming someone it can't shake. Because respect is a resonance. It's the energy between you and the world, but it always starts with you. The way you talk to yourself, the boundaries you honor, the way you rise even when no one is watching. People don't respect you just because you ask them to. They respect you because you show them how self-respect walks, how it speaks, how it moves. So what does that look like? It looks like staying calm when provoked, walking away not to punish but to protect, speaking your truth even when your voice shakes, and waking up with this quiet decision. Today, I don't need to earn my worth. I'll live like someone who already has it. Because the truth is, what matters most is not what they say. It's how you come back to yourself. Again and again. When dignity becomes your default. When your worth no longer depends on their reaction, but on your remembrance. that's when you come home to yourself. So here's your reminder. You don't have to fight for respect. You just have to stop abandoning yourself. Because when you choose you, the world learns how to follow. Not overnight, not perfectly, but inevitably. The end of chasing is the beginning of becoming. From now on, you don't walk into rooms trying to prove anything. You walk in already knowing. So let me leave you with this. I don't seek recognition. I radiate value. If those words hit you somewhere deep, maybe this wasn't just a video. Maybe it was a mirror, a return, a beginning. Because you don't need permission to become who you already are. You don't need applause to live in alignment. You just need one decision to begin. Right now. Maybe something in this stirred you. A breath, a moment, a sentence that hit too close. Don't ignore that flicker. That flicker is sacred. It's your soul whispering, I'm still here, ready when you are. So if you're ready, even a little, drop this in the comments. I do not seek respect. I live as someone who deserves it. Not for me. Not for the algorithm, but for you. To mark this moment. The one where you stopped waiting to be chosen and finally chose yourself. And if this message spoke to you, if you're ready to keep going, to reclaim your calm, to return to your values, to rebuild from a place of quiet power, then hit subscribe. Because every week we go deeper. Together. We explore how to master your emotions without losing your kindness. How to build a presence so grounded people respect you even in silence. And how to live from truth, not noise, not fear, not comparison. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to fight not with others, but with yourself just to reclaim the respect you gave away? Leave your story below. Because someone out there may need it more than you know. You're not alone. None of us are. And you don't have to break to begin again. You don't have to hit bottom to rise. Sometimes it starts with one step, one new sentence, one new chapter. And if you're still listening, maybe today is that chapter. Because yes, you have always been worthy. Not because they said so, but because you finally do. Let respect begin where it always should, within you.